Now, let's say that we want to make all this fur around his or her face look a little sharper and more defined. So how do we do that? We go here where it says filter, and we'll look for a filter called Sharpen. And then we're gonna use this option that it says sharp mask. We have several options, but we want to use this one. And then here we get a preview, right? And we're going to go over an area that is of our interest to determine how strong we want to sharpen this. So it was 25, we're going to increase it up to 50, and then we're going to click OK. So now it is sharper. Let's see the before. That's before, and this is after. Before, after. Okay? Sometimes the changes are subtle, and that's how I like to do it, because I am a firm believer that the subtle the effect, the better for retouching imagery. Okay? Some people like it strong, I like it softer. Alright, so what else can we do to this beautiful dog here? Well, let's say that... I'm sorry? What? You mean these? Huh? You want to take it away? And leave it? No, that belongs to him. I mean, we want to do maybe a little color change in the eyes. What do you think? Yes, let's make him blue. So how do you do that? Well, we're going to use another tool here. This is the third tool we use. We're going to use the selection tool, which is the lasso tool. Here, when you see there is a little triangle pointing down on the bottom right of the tools that you have here on the toolbox, that means that you have more than one option. So we're going to select the lasso tool, and we're going to make a selection around his left eye, and we have selected this eye, and now we want to make another selection here, so we work both eyes at the same time. So in order to do or add another selection to the same image, you have to press the shift key, and as soon as you press the shift key, notice what happens. There is a plus that shows up next to our lasso tool icon, so that means that we are adding. So we're going to add to this tool. Okay, now let's say that we don't like that because we took too much over the white part of the eye, so we can click Command Z, which is edit and undo, and then we're gonna do it again. Shift and hold and go around the eye. Okay, now we have a selection. Now we're working on the background layer, which is the original image. We're going to create another layer. A layer is nothing else than another image that we create on top of the original image. So you come here to the bottom right and you add a layer. Now this layer is where we're going to be adding the color. So we're going to go here to the left where we have our color picker tool, and we're going to select the color blue. Okay, now we have the color blue here. We're going to add a blue color over this selection. So how do we do that? We go here where it says edit, fill, right? Or we can go here where the paint bucket tool is, and we're just going to click here and it'll fill it up with blue. Now that blue doesn't look like a real blue for eye color, so we need to lower the opacity so it looks like it's real, right? So we're gonna go here what it says layer mode, and we're gonna choose a different type of mode for this layer. We have it in normal, and we're gonna go and use multiply. It's too dark. And then we're gonna go and choose the next one, which is color. No. Too dark. Linear. No. Darken color. No. Lighten. No. Screen. No. Color dodge. No. Linear. No. Lighten color. No. Overlay. That's it. I think this works. So let's deselect these walking ants that are part of our selection by clicking here where it says select, and then we're going to deselect, which is Command D for the Mac command. Now look at that. Let's take a look on how it looked before. Before, after, before, after. That's a good looking blue-eyed dog, right? Now, I feel that this blue is too strong, so let's reduce the impact of the blue. How do we do that? Well, we go here where it says, on the right hand side it says opacity, and we are going to tone it down by bringing the opacity down 50%. 50%, right there. Okay, now let's say before, after, before, after. Now, let's say that we want to make this edge softer around his eyes for the blue because it looks kind of fake. So how do we do that? We go here and we choose the next tool here, which is called the blur tool, and we have it at 13 and 50% strength. So we're gonna increase the size by making this a little bit bigger, right? And then we're gonna go around the edge and we are going to soften this up a little bit, right? Look right here. We're going to we're blending it a little bit, all right? And we're gonna blend this side too, because when I made the original selection, I wasn't careful enough to do it exactly as it was. So all I'm doing is blurring the edge so it looks more realistic. Now let's take another look. Before, after, before, after, before, after. Now you see there's a little amount of blue overlapping the eye that shouldn't be there. So we are going to take the erase tool, which is another tool, right? Make sure that we're working on this layer where the eyes are painted, and we're gonna make it round, and that's perfect size, and we're gonna go and erase this a little bit here. Okay, now don't worry if you are not doing it the way I'm doing it, because I'm a professional photographer and I have plenty of experience doing this. And if you are starting to use Photoshop, then don't worry about making any mistakes, because mistakes are part of learning. So that's it. Now those are some beautiful, good looking eyes. Oh my god. Now let's say that we want to try some other colors different than the ones we have here. How do we do that? Well, I'm glad you asked. We're gonna go here and hit the image adjustment, and we're gonna select the hue and saturation, and then we're gonna hit the colorize option, and then we're gonna increase the saturation so we can visualize it, And here we can change it for any color we want. So we can make it green, we can make it yellow, we can make it red. Okay, or we can make it pink. We can make it red again. Any color you want, pretty much. Okay, it's here. So let's leave it at green. Okay, and there it is. We have our first green eye looking dog with a clean eye and a sharpened fur. Okay, let's see how it looks before, after. Okay, now it's your turn to practice. Okay, this was a video tutorial by Woman Dog 81. Bye bye.